Welcome back to the third quarter of the Bobby Dupree Show. It's done in 4 quarters, and of course we passed the halfway mark, and my sidekick, Andrew, you want to show a few pictures, Andrew?
Good morning. I think I can do that. How about this picture right here? We got a picture of somebody putting an LSU flag up in Mississippi.
That's the little secondary home that I have in Natchez, Mississippi, and went out and purchased, while I was in San Francisville, went into a little gift store there and saw this quality. It's real good quality. It's not just one of those little flimsy ones. It'll last for years, and that's a LSU.
You let them know you're not Ole Miss or Mississippi State. If you're in Mississippi, you got to.
That's right. My neighbor across the street is for one of the 2 colleges there. So I imagine he was watching through the window while I was installing this flag. And this is when I was leaving the station here, taping last Wednesday, stopped in for some fuel at the Chevron station around the corner from the Delta Media home office. And the Jet 24 sign is still showing there. It looks like it was covered and the covering came off of it. But that was a change started by my nephew, Kent Dupree. That would be Cody's young son, Cody and Wilda. And this is some donuts at the donut shop in Natchez, Mississippi. They're well-known, renownedly known throughout the world. People hear about it and they come and try some of those delicious, you name it, and they make it. And here's Vicky with a cup of coffee and
trying them out.
Trying them out. That was after Mass on Sunday. And they have the building up for sale. Miss Mary is wanting, she and her partner want to retire. They've been at it, I think the article says, 23 years now.
They got all kind of stuff.
Yeah, they stay open till 9 o'clock at night.
And then they do meals. They got hamburgers and all that as well as donuts.
Yep, yep. It's a full service little, but they don't have any sitting down except outside. They don't have an insides.
And there she is.
And no, that's actually her sister, Miss Catherine.
There you go.
And she also works there.
And more branches that you're cleaning up that property?
Yep, and there we got a nice little load. Had 3 loads over the weekend. So got full use of the new little used pick-em-up truck that I purchased from Fred Bunall. That's Blue's young son.
And you went out, I guess, Magnolia Cafe?
Magnolia Cafe, and that must, I'm trying to think, I can't place that picture, but and
sunset?
Sunset, that's beautiful, through the trees there on the way home. And this is, I don't know,
was a
little blurry, but I'm eating breakfast in the little secondary home there in Natchez after Mass.
There you go. And that's all the photos I got. You want to kick back to me? I want to get a couple sponsors in while we're at this spot. Let's go with Dixie Storage. All your storage needs, personal and commercial, Dixie Storage can help you. If that's putting your RV in, your boat in, if it's putting a little bit of furniture in, maybe you're a businessman and want to put some of your supplies for your technicians, some of your inventory, you can do that as well. All their units in Port Barry, Outposts, and Washington, all well roofed. I mean, the buildings are very good buildings. Good concrete, so you keep your feet clean, safe
basically new buildings.
New buildings with nice tall fences that are very secure all the way around, but well lit also. So if you got to go after work or in the evenings, easy to get in, easy to get out. Dixie Storage, and don't forget about their sister company, A+ Glass, locations in Opelousas and in Lafayette. For all your glass needs, that's personal cars, 18-wheelers, they do inspections, they do your home glass, they do your commercial glass as well. A+ Glass.
You bet. On the death side, we have about 3 deaths that I want to briefly speak about. Miss Irene Garcia Prescott from Eunice, Louisiana. And I knew Miss Irene well over the years and know her son. She's survived by her son, Burton Powell, and his wife, Joyce, who reside over in Eunice. And let's see if it says her age here. 93. I knew she had a little age on me, but didn't realize she was that much older. Very, very nice lady. And another person who died was Cynthia McCardell Leger, and well-known young lady. The McCardell family is extremely well-known. I knew several members, and of course Tommy McCardell knew him well, and I remember when he and his daddy, and of course Cynthia's father, Mr. Frank McCardell, has been dead for a few years. He was with the health inspector department in St. Landry Parish, similar job to what Vicky does over in Avars Parish. And I remember Mr. Frank and Tommy, his young son at that time, coming into the pecan shed that Daddy operated successfully for quite a number of years. And Cynthia, I guess, is best known for all the hard work and dedication and the time she spent with so many students over at the Academy of the Sacred Heart in Grand Coteau. Our deepest sympathy. And also a person who was born in Opelousas is Larry Hidalgo, age 84. His father was the late Mr. Merrick Hidalgo, and Mr. Merrick was well known around Opelousas. He operated a couple of successful bars in the Opelousas area, and that's how I got to know him. And of course, Larry married Bubba Peterson's sister, Janelle. And of course, she died some times ago. And also surviving Larry's family is two sons, Terrence and Greg, and then two daughters, Tracelyn Hidalgo and Laurie Hidalgo. Those were actually Bubba Peterson's daughters, but they were raised by Larry and Larry's wife, who was Bubba's sister, Janelle. And of course, I got to meeting Tracelyn through conversations, and then met her in person at the boxing reunion and installation of
the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. Over in Sunset. And by the way, we need to send out a letter, you and I, of upcoming meeting of the board of directors again to plan the event, choose a date, and start, you know, getting together like we did last year. Again, my deepest sympathies on the death of a person that I knew briefly, a little bit older than we were, and I remember that he and Bubba had gotten in a pretty serious accident right when Bubba must have just been out of high school, and it was rather serious injuries to Bubba. Had to have a plate placed in his skull. It was that serious of an accident.
How about this coming up? We got the Mardi Gras is about to happen. We're only a couple of weeks away. And that's going to be, I guess, the weekend of February 28th, 29th, and 30th. And Mardi Gras Day, I guess, is about, what, the Tuesday, March 4th? No, not 30th. 28th, 29th, 28th, 1st, and 2nd, because we're in February. Anyway, the Eunice group always sends us some Mardi Gras hats, you and I, every single year.
Every year.
It must be 7 or 8 years at least that I remember getting them. They do the Mardi Gras run on Tuesday from the Northwest Community Center. That's the adult run. Ladies and men all make the big run. You start there, go early enough to pay your fee and ride. If you got to register your trail, I guess you can probably contact City Hall to get registered already. But they do the boucherie on Sunday, and the kids run, I believe, as well as on Sunday right there in Eunice. I want to thank them every year for doing such a good job. Don't forget Church Point, their big run is Sunday.
Sunday.
Correct. And that starts at the Saddle Tramp Arena. And
for years.
And there, I'm not sure, I guess the ladies can ride on the wagons in the back, but if you want to ride with the main run, I believe it's men only in the front wagons. So go early, get registered at the Saddle Tramp. And of course, Mamu is on Tuesday as well. And everybody's got music and bands and everything from Friday night on.
And Opelousas at Frank's.
Frank's is Mardi Gras Day.
It's Mardi Gras Day. The parade generally starts about 11 a.m. on the eastern end of Landry Street there, near the Myrtle Grove Cemetery. There's a parking area, and that's where they line up and get started. And that's the Frank's Half-Fast Parade. And this year's queen is Miss Amani Gilroy, the young daughter of Albert Lee Gilroy and Yvonne Gilroy. And Joey Zarang is the king this year.
That's right.
So lots going on, and of course Lafayette has all types of, they start parades.
Children's parades,
could
adults
possibly
parades.
start this weekend.
Probably so. The Croix de Chien, I think they do the dog parade like a week or two ahead of time. Yeah, that's what Steve's nodding over there. The Croix de Chien is coming up too.
And that's the dog. Chien is dog in French.
There you go. See that? That's why I got my translator here on there so I don't forget. How about Don Legier's appraisal service? If you're trying to get some property appraised right now, it's a good time. You know, springtime, people are starting to build those houses, starting to plan where they're going to put that new home. Don Legier's appraisal service can help you out to figure out what's the value you need to get for that piece of property that you have. Maybe you're doing estate planning, trying to get some good valuation of your property. Maybe you're trying to refinance that home or that commercial piece of property. Don Legier can help you with that as well. And don't forget, all throughout South Louisiana, from St. Landry, Lafayette, St. Martin, Acadia, Evangeline, Iberia, Vermilion, Don has been a licensed state certified real estate appraiser for over 25 years, and of course the family has done that. You know, it goes back to the previous generation. They know what they're looking at. They can also be as discreet as you like. If you're a buyer trying to keep that price down low, you're just kind of curious about something, you can get that done as well with Don Legier Appraisals. What's next?
There was an article about the Beatles. The Beatles were honored in the United States for their coming over 50 years ago, and the Ed Sullivan Show brought them out to the world at the time. And there was a memento that hung in a Baton Rouge bar, and about 4 of the members of the bar paid $1,800 originally for this signed autograph of John Lennon. And they just had it there. It was a conversation piece, not realizing that well, this could someday be worth a lot of money. And I see here they offered $50,000, and it would these 4 people turned that offer down. They came back and offered $100,000, and they turned that down. After the offer grew to $200,000, the couple took the money and wall piece back to Baton Rouge with the intention of learning its true value. And I think it could be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars this could possibly be worth. So what started out was at $1,800, and probably the person who got the $1,800 probably got it for maybe almost nothing. Maybe just happened to be at the right place and got John Lennon to sign. I don't think I mentioned about John Lennon, one of his donations that he donated to on a regular basis.
You talked a bit about it last week.
Last week,
the New York
Foundling Home, where Daddy and a lot of the other orphan-trained riders came from. And just something to pass on about, you know, you hear all kind of things about these people that come in and they take the money and they go back home and go back to England with it and all that. Well, he ended up making New York, of course, his home. His wife still lives in New York and very active in the community. She's a little character.
There you
go. Anyhow, he gave to a number of charities.
Also, talking about Mardi Gras, Lundi Gras, the Monday from 5 p.m. to 8:30 p.m., the Opelousas Civic Center will be having Gino Delafosse and French Rock and Boogie that evening. There'll also be food provided by Fats Cafe, be sold, and drinks as well. Just go by, you'll have a good time there that evening. And how about this as well? The Slimco Scholarship, the papers are going out in the mail with your bill. You should be getting them in. If you can't find the application, you got more than one child that qualifies, you may want to download it from slimco.com. They're not going to give out the scholarships, I guess, till June the 7th, and you've got to get your application in sometime by May. So get your forms filled out. And we got to go to a break. Last quarter's about to begin at the Bobby Dupree Show. Folks, we're going to see you on the other side of 1 minute.